This video is about changing quadratic functions into vertex form. There are many ways to change quadratic function into vertex form. In this lesson, we got to use two methods, by formula and also by completing square. By formula means this h equals negative 2b over 2a. Then k equals f of h. For completing square means x squared plus bx plus b over 2 squared equals x plus b over 2 squared. Let's do the formula first. We got the a, b, c. So we have a equals 1, b equals negative 4. C equals 8. H equals negative b over 2a. Negative b means the opposite of b. That's positive 4. 2 times 1 equals 2. So f of 2 equals, that's your k. Plug 2 into this function. You got 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 8. You get equal to 4. So I know h equals 2, k equal to 4. Then I plug into this formula. A is given a equals 1. Therefore, I got the y equals 1 x minus 2 squared plus 4. Now I got to use completing square to work this out. Y equals x squared minus 4x plus 8. I got x squared minus 4x. Then I add b over 2 squared, that's negative 2 squared. Since I add negative 2 squared, you have to subtract negative 2 squared. Then bring down this 8 over here, plus 8. These three, they give you completing square, x minus 2 squared. Because from here is x, from here is negative 2. Work this out, you will get plus 4. For vertex, whenever we see this square, that means a liar. So I got the 2, 4. For vertex here, still 2, 4. Because HK will be the vertex. Now let's go to B. First of all, we got to use the formula. A equals negative 3. B equals 6. C equals negative 8. So H equals negative B over 2A. Negative B means opposite of B, that negative 6. 2 times negative 3. So you will get 1. K equals f of 1. So I plug 1 into this function. You get negative 3 times 1 squared plus 6 times 1 minus 8. You will get negative 5. For vertex, you get 1, negative 5. Then we plug in here to get the vertex form. Y equals A, that's negative 3. So we got negative 3 times x minus 1 squared minus 5. For completing square, I write down the formula over here. You will get the y equals negative 3x squared plus 6x minus 8. So we got negative 3 we take outside. for these two. X squared. 6 divided by negative 3, that's negative 2x. Then minus 8. You will get negative 3. We do completing square. X squared minus 2x. So add b over 2 squared, that's negative 1 squared. Since you add negative 1 squared, you have to subtract negative 1 squared. You have factor that's negative 3, so I put the negative 3 here. Then minus 8. You will get negative 3. This is a completing square format. X minus 1 squared. Work this out. You will get negative 5. So your vertex, that's 1, negative 5. Let's go to C. Still, we got to use a formula first. That is H equals negative B over 2A. K equals F of H. For completing square, that is x squared plus bx plus b over 2 squared equals x plus b over 2 squared. For C, we got to use a formula. H equals negative b over 2a. We know a equals 2, b equals negative 5. Therefore, I got opposite of negative 5 is 5. 2 times 2 equals 5 over 4. Then for the k, that is f of 5 over 4. Plug in to this function. 2 times 5 over 4 squared minus 5 times 5 over 4 plus 1. You will get negative 17 over 8. Therefore, for vertex, you got the 5 over 4 and negative 17 over 8. We can write down vertex form, that is y equals a, here's 2. So 2 times x minus 5 over 4 squared minus 17 over 8. Now let's do in completing square. You will get, take out 2 first, x squared minus 5 over 2x plus 1. Then equals 2, x squared minus 5 over 2x. I need to add b over 2 squared. 5 over 2 divided by 2, that will be negative 5 over 4. Since you add negative 5 over 4 on the right side, you still need to subtract negative 5 over 4 squared. But we do have number before that, that's 2, so 2 times. Then you need to add this 1 here. So I will form completing square. I will get the x minus 5 over 4. Square. Work this out. You will get negative 17 over 8. Therefore, for the vertex, it's 5 over 4 and negative 17 over 8. Now let's go to D. First of all, we got to use a formula. We got the A equals negative 1, B equals negative 7. So H equals negative B over 2A. You get the 7 over 2 times negative 1 means negative 7 over 2. So for f of h, that is k, equals, plug in this function, negative 7 over 2 squared minus 7 times negative 7 over 2 plus 2. You will get negative 49 over 4 plus 49 over 2 plus 2. Put into calculator, you will get 57 over 4. Therefore, for the vertex, you get negative 7 over 2, 57 over 4. Then y equals, a here is negative 1, x plus 7 over 2 squared plus 57 over 4. Now let's doing this by completing square. First of all, I will take negative 1 outside. I got x squared plus 7x plus 2. Then you need to add b over 2 squared. So I add b over 2 squared. That will be 7 over 2. Then you subtract negative 1 times 7 over 2 squared. Then plus 2. I do completing square. I got x plus 7 over 2 squared. Working this out, you will get 57 over 4. Therefore, for the vertex, that is negative 7 over 2 and 57 over 4. Write the factoring form into vertex form. As we know, factoring form for quadratic function is this one. And the roots will be R1 and R2. Sometimes you can use y equals a, x minus x1, then x minus x2. So the roots will be x1 and x2. We want to change factoring form into vertex form. Vertex form, that's y equals a x minus h squared plus k. For any quadratic function, we have roots x1 and x2. We could say that this is hk. H equals x1 plus x2 over 2. And k equals f of h. Therefore, for E, I will find the x1 equals negative 15, x2 equals negative 7. Then the h equals x1 plus x2, that's negative 15 minus 7 over 2. You got negative 11. And k equals f of h means negative 11. You will get negative 11 plus 15 times negative 11 plus 7. We got, this is a 4. This will be negative 4. So negative 16. Therefore, for vertex form, you will get y equals, a equals 1. Then x plus 11 squared minus 16. That's for E. For number F, we know x1 equals negative 8, x2 equals 9 over 2. So h equals negative 8 plus 9 over 2, then over 2. You will get negative 7 over 4. Therefore, for k equals f of negative 7 over 4, we plug into this equation equals negative 3 times negative 7 over 4 plus 8. Then 2 times negative 7 over 4 minus 9. Answer is really big, 1875 over 8. Therefore, I can write down the vertex form. That will be y equals negative 3 x plus 7 over 4 squared plus 1875 over 8. Look at the J. We got the x1 equals 0, x2 equals negative 11 over 4. Therefore, we got the h equals 0 plus negative 11 over 4 over 2. So we got negative 11 over 8. K equals f of negative 11 over 8. You will get negative x means a positive 11 over 8 times 4 times negative 11 over 8 plus 11. So you will get 121 over 16. Therefore, y equals, a is negative 1, so negative x plus 11 over 8 squared plus 121 over 16. For number h is already vertex form. Your a equals 1 and h equals 3, k equals 0.